V at Luster HQ. We love seeing V in person. Such a privilege to live in the same state. So we thought, let's sit down, have a chat, ask some questions, and hopefully ask some questions that aren't just the usual, what's your hair loss story, all of that. You've shared that heaps on your Instagram, which we love. We love hearing that story, but it's already there. So let's chat about a few different things. And this is something that I've wanted to hear you talk on more, I think, because you share so much of your life on your Instagram, which we love. You're so real. And part of your life is you love like essential oils and working with those. So I wondered, do you get asked a lot, what oil do I use to grow my hair back? Or will oil grow my hair back? How do I grow my hair back with oils? What is your experience there?
Oh, I do. I get asked that all of the time. And to be honest with you, I use oils in every part of my life and I love them and I love educating on them. But
we've got them right here.
We love beautiful citrus. The one thing I haven't done or tried is to grow my hair back with oils. I think my understanding of androgenic alopecia is once that hair follicle is damaged and falling out, you know, in my opinion, I don't think that there is much we can do about growing hair again. It's a fairly permanent condition and I don't think we hear enough about that. I think
it's very hard to hear.
Yeah, it's very hard
to say sometimes.
But I was very relieved when someone had told me that because I'd already spent, you know, so much money trying to grow my hair back through hair clinics and that sort of thing. So yeah, it was just a good bit of closure. But that's the one thing I haven't used oils for. However, I do believe rosemary oil is really great for supporting hair loss, maybe sort of more stress-related hair loss. So
yes, we see people talk about rosemary oil a lot in like Facebook support groups and things like that. So I had wondered if that was something worth looking at or if it was just another one of those things that people try. And so maybe for some hair loss situations it could provide some sort of benefit. But
yeah,
as an overall cure, probably not the one to go
sadly,
to.
I like to say there's an oil for everything, but yeah.
Not quite everything.
Not in this instance.
Well, thanks for that. That's always good to hear from someone who's got that experience. Another experience I would love to hear more about. Now, you were involved with fighting some of the fires earlier this year here in South Australia and on Kangaroo Island, and you had a really interesting experience having to stay in a bunker in Kangaroo Island with a bunch of other people and men, and you weren't quite sure how to approach that with your hair situation. What did you do?
Yeah, it was one of those things. So I'm a firefighter for the country fire service, but soon I'll be going into it in a more professional role. So that's another thing that I'm going to have to really consider is how I do that with alternative hair. It's a bit of a challenge, but I'm always up for challenge. Yeah, I went to Kangaroo Island. Of course, spent weeks and weeks here in the mainland as well with the fires. But when we got there, they'd set up this camp which holds, you know, I think 1,000 plus personnel, everyone from the Army, Country Fire Service, from Metropolitan Fire Service, all the emergency services. It was huge. And we got put in these like little huts, like they're like a flat pack, and they just pop them up and they pop 8 beds up in them, so 4 bunks. And so I literally like had this much space between the next person's head or feet.
Don't know which I prefer.
This much space between the person above me. I just made myself a little tent with towels and things. But yeah, it was meeting, you know, we had a female dorm, but meeting all these women for the first time and then having to try and negotiate this as well as firefighting and...
Yeah, as if you didn't have enough to worry about.
It was, you know, it was a fairly, you know, what was going on. It was a crisis. So the last thing I had to worry about really was my hair. But yeah, it was interesting to navigate.
Did you share that with anyone at all, or you managed to keep yourself within your towel tent?
What I did was, thankfully, one of my roles is I work. I was a driver basically. So I didn't have to put the full helmet and kit on. One day I did, but the rest of the time I was driving, so I got to wear a cap. So what I did was just plaited my hair up and then pinned it up to the top and put my cap on over the top. Just because I don't have time to wash my hair in between shifts. They were, 12, 13, 14 hour shifts on the fire ground, and I just couldn't be bothered with it. So I was like, you know what, I can just wear a cap. Yeah, so most of the time I just wore a cap. But I did share with my bed buddy that wool hair. Yeah.
There you go. Because you do, I mean, you've been wearing hair for a while. You do all sorts of things in your hair, not just firefighting, but you play sport in your hair as well. How does that go?
Yeah, fine. I think you just have to find the right piece. So I use toppers. Obviously, wigs are a little bit harder to sort of get back in a ponytail. I love toppers for that because you can kind of, you know, I've got bio hair, a little bit of bio hair, so I can easily put it up in a ponytail. And I usually wear a headband as well. I'm really getting into headbands and do-rags and things like that.
Yeah, headbands are amazing for a bit of added security.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I play hockey, and yeah, I'm quite active anyway. So I usually wear a headband.
Yeah. But, yeah. It's interesting you say that your go-to for a ponytail is a topper. And that wigs are a bit more difficult because I wouldn't even know where to start to get a topper back in a ponytail. Obviously, I don't wear toppers, I wear wigs. But I've played sport, done some sort of activity my whole life and wore wigs through school and high school and after, and I've always been fine to wear those in a ponytail for sport as well. So yeah, I think it's just whatever you're wearing or trying to navigate, it's just practice, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And I think now that, I mean, I'm only quite new to wig wearing as well, so I'm sure in time I'm going to have a play and be able to sort of get this into upstyles and do some different things with it. So
yeah, depends.
I think it'll be just a matter of time before I start putting my wigs up.
Yeah. And speaking of being new to the wig world, so you've got your brand new Luster Game Changer wig on, which we love. Tell us a bit about your Luster experience.
Oh, I can't believe this question's come up. Well, my first ever hairpiece I ordered from Luster. Right back in the early days, I ordered like the very tiny little. I didn't know where to start. I knew that I needed some sort of hair help, and so I ordered this tiny little thing, and then I changed my mind, and then I ordered something else. Can't even remember. It might have been, I don't know, something slightly bigger, and then I ended up ordering. I think it might have been a 8x8 cap. And when I put it on, it's just so much hair, and it's been so long since I had hair like that. And I found it so overwhelming, just all this hair in my face. But really, what I've learned since too is you can easily customise these pieces and you can thin them out and put some face framing in them. I got this stock piece and I just didn't know what to do with it. And it'd been so long since I even had hair to style or do anything with. It was just all so overwhelming. The first piece that I bought from Luster also, it didn't sit perfectly flat. I still hadn't mastered the technique of bringing my own bio hair through. I actually sent it back along with the other couple. 3 of them was a couple. I don't think I ended up actually receiving one of them. I actually had already cancelled my order in there. So
there's a bit of trial and error.
Yeah.
We're on a journey to where we are right now.
Absolutely. And I feel that the hair is a little bit different, 18 months or 2 years on, in that the cap is, the construction's probably been really, really refined, I'm going to say. So really flat.
I'm going to jump in from behind the scenes. Can you see me?
Yeah.
V is one of the main reasons that I was like, you know what? Luster has to be the best. And if this one here doesn't like it, we're going back to the drawing board. So V, I don't know if you actually know this, but you were actually my reason for like ripping up the plan and starting again. This was like 1.5 years ago, I would say. So it was because of this one here that we're just like, nah, we have to perfect this. I'm literally not going to sleep until I've got the best product and the best cap. So anyway.
So here we are.
Here we are.
What's the verdict?
I've just been blown away today. So got the 8x8, it's a new money topper, and I've had it customised already, and it is.
And how do you feel about 8x8 now?
What
did I hear you say more? I should have just listened to Kimberly back then.
Yes. And that's probably the one thing. If I can say one thing about buying your first topper is 8x8. I think there's a lot of really delicate fine hair in the front, especially if you've got androgenic alopecia. Getting a bigger cap size is you're clipping it sort of probably into, a more less sensitive area of your scalp. Yeah. Also flatness, just beautifully flat. You can still put it up in a. I don't know why I just didn't do 8x8. to start with.
Sooner.
You can customize it. Like if you think there's too much hair, well, there's so much in a silk top, so much you can do about it. You can thin it out and you get face framing. It's amazing what you can do with a bit of customization. So that's probably the one thing I would say is just go straight for the 8x8. Yeah.
Well, speaking of, because there is so much that you know now that you didn't know before, what advice, and not just specifically to choosing a hairpiece, but just in general, now that you've learned so much, what advice would you give to your younger self now that you know everything you know?
Regarding hair? Yeah.
Regarding hair, anything?
Yeah, I think probably the biggest journey I've been on is confidence. So I have a health and wellness business, and I found it so hard to turn up every single day to that business and get myself on camera with my hair the way it looked. I didn't look healthy. I didn't look healthy, and I didn't look like someone that should be giving a health and wellness message. And that really rocked my confidence, to be honest. Like, as soon as I got the right piece, I've had a few other great toppers as well, but as soon as I got some nice hair, you know, everything changed for me. I just became this confident, enthusiastic about life and about my business and about giving a health and wellness message. Even though, you know, it wasn't my own hair, it didn't take me long for it to feel like it was mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just to own it, you know, I think the best thing that we can do is to have confidence. Like even if we do tell our friends or family or share our story, is just to own it, and just to be, just the confidence has just been amazing. So
yeah, owning your thing, like whatever that is. If it's hair loss, hello, the whole hair loss community, that's that, a lot of our common thing. But we also have a lot of other things, whatever it is, whatever your thing is, if you own it, it no longer owns you. Like you can have that confidence back. So that's, I think, a lot of our advice to our younger selves is just like bite the bullet, own it, share it, just be you. But yeah, definitely I can agree. Once I had a really good hairpiece and just felt like I didn't want to hide it because it didn't look good anymore. So I didn't have any reason to hide it anymore. Once you have a good hairpiece, you're like excited to tell people about what's going on because you feel like you look great. So yeah, there's that too. But thank you so much, Bea. We love it when you come in. Such a privilege, as I said, to live not too far away from each other. I mean, it is a bit of a distance, but you come in to see us and we love it. So we will talk to you all very soon again. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.